Hi, it's Stuart. Hope you're having a good day. I wanted to talk in today's video about medication and diagnosis. Before I start, I want to say that if you've not been to the GP and you feel your symptoms are of anxiety or of depression, other people have mentioned to you, or you've been on the internet or read in a book that your symptoms are similar, go and see your GP. It's a brave move to do. You've got to step up. You've got to do it. Certainly for me, it was a little bit of a relief to actually have a handle put on my symptoms. And secondly, with medication, lots of different views about medication. I'll talk about what happened with me and my medication in this video today, but what I do want to say is, on the whole, I feel that medication is a good thing. It may take a couple of goes to get it right, to get the right combination of pills, of drugs. But kind of stick with it because it does help, and most people I've spoken with who do suffer particularly from depression say that medication does help them. So if you're doubting about going down the medication route, I would certainly give it a try. For myself, on a personal level, when I first started to recognise my symptoms, of course, first of all, it was disbelief. I'm a strong person, I'm a successful person at work, I'm a confident person. All of a sudden, I was starting to doubt my decision making, to feel lethargic, not being able to get out of bed. My concentration levels were going. And scouring the internet, as I think I've mentioned in other videos that I've done on this channel, as I did, I found that all these symptoms were pointing towards the fact that I might have depression. And it was like, no, sorry, not me. I'm too strong for that. I'm too good a person for that. Only happens to other people. How embarrassing to feel that I can't cope, blah, blah, blah. All the symptoms that other people tell you, but also that you feel yourself, particularly when you start with this horrible illness. So in the end, I thought, you know what, I've read so much about this, let's go and get a professional opinion. So I went to see my GP and I told him about my symptoms, again, the lack of concentration, the fact that I wasn't interested in the things I've always been interested in. I felt very lethargic, my work was starting to suffer, and he said to me, it sounds to me as if you have depression. And at the time I thought, fantastic, someone's actually put a name on it. I've had a professional opinion. I'm not going mad. How I feel is actually an illness. But what he then said made me pull back hugely from those thoughts. He said, so you really should consider some medication. And I'm like, me? Take some medication, accept some help for an illness that I might have. I don't even take paracetamol if I've got a headache. I always think that the body should fight these things on its own and build up its defensive so that if you get really badly ill, you have that natural defense there to help you. So for me, the idea of medication was awful. The fact I'd got to accept some help to try and deal with this illness that I got. So I went out of there, head was spinning, thinking, I can't do that. I can't have anything help me. I can fight this on my own. Where the reason that I'd been to the doctor was the fact that I couldn't fight it. And it will be the same with you out there. You try to, you have your good times and your not so good times. But one thing is, and one thing I was finding was, it always came back with a vengeance, depression. So in the end, I thought, do you know what? Why not give why not give medication for depression a try? I'd spoken to other people who tried it. So went back to the GP and he said, right, let's try you on citalopram. So I tried citalopram and it, I have a job where I am customer facing all the time. In my job, 9 to 5, I'm continually customer facing. And I was finding by about 11:30 in the morning, wanting to go to sleep. Could have closed my eyes and slept for a couple of hours, no problem at all. Was quite lethargic at work, and I thought, if I want to work to the standard that I normally do, I can't take this particular medication. I need to go back. So I went back to the doctor and I said, look, this is what's happening. These are the side effects. Can you suggest something else? And he said to me, well, it does take, 2 or 3 goes, maybe sometimes, to get the medication right. So he put me on to venlafaxine. Now, venlafaxine for me was like a poison. Pretty much straight from the word go, it made me feel awful. The feelings of lethargy that I'd had from citalopram were multiplied by 3 or 4 times. But one of the worst symptoms was I couldn't urinate. I felt like I wanted to go, but nothing would come out. It was a bizarre feeling. And I thought, I cannot have this. It's like me drinking a poison. So, stopped the venlafaxine, went back to the doctor again. And I said, look, can you find me something that's not going to give me any side effects that are going to affect my work? My work is really important to me. It's important to me. It gives me a bit of self-esteem and a bit of a boost. And of course, we all know that's really important when you feel like you have some depression. So he put me onto mirtazapam. Now, mirtazapam is a tranquilizer, which I didn't know at the time. Started to take it and couldn't wake up in the mornings, couldn't get up for work. It was the most massive effort for me to get out of bed in the morning because it felt like I was punch drunk. And it gave me the most incredibly vivid dreams. I'll always remember this, like neon flashing lights on a black background. Can't remember what any of these dreams were about. All I can remember is these flashing, huge flashing lights going on within these dreams. And also, by slowing down the metabolism as it did, I started to put on some weight. And again, exercise is something I've always done. And again, it gives you a boost, exercise. And one of the few things that I've been able to carry through my bouts of depression is that by exercising, I do look good. I am happy with my look. And that gives me a boost. And the fact I was starting to put on weight, I couldn't deal with that at all. So this was 2015. I then went off on holiday to Egypt and finished with the medication, didn't take it anymore, and kind of managed my symptoms for the next 3 years. With varying success, as you will know, again, trying to manage it on your own. And it's really funny because I never really thought about going back on to medication until I read somewhere that somebody said that if you have an illness in your body, for instance, if you had kidney failure, if you have cancer, for instance, heaven forbid, then you take medication for it because it helps you. Why would you not take medication because it helps you? Because you have an illness. Depression, it is an illness. And I thought, do you know what? They're absolutely right on that. Let's give the medication a try again. So I've been back to the doctor this last August, and he's put me on a different sort of citalopram called escitalopram, escitalopram. Side effects have been much less on this. I do yawn exaggeratingly about 3:30 every afternoon after taking the pill first thing in the morning, but that's the only real side effect that I felt, and I felt it has helped take off the top level of my anxiety. I'm not saying that it's killed it completely. It's still there, but it doesn't have so much of a regular or so much of a concentrated effect on me. So I'm taking it at the moment, 10 milligrams once a day, and I feel that it's helping. And again, you know, if you've not thought about medication seriously, have a think about it. It does help, and generally the people I've spoken to have said that it does really help them in trying to manage this illness. So I'll leave your comments below as per normal. Come back to me on Instagram on isvicthere.cox or on Twitter as isvicthere_cox. Let me know your thoughts. Let me know your experiences of medication and maybe your experiences of being diagnosed with depression or anxiety. I hope your day continues to go well, and I'll see you all again soon.